Well, something we've heard a lot about are those so-called bump stocks, the devices that can turn a rifle into a rapid-fire weapon. Stephen Paddock used them in his attack, and we wanted to see how easy it was to get one and use it. Our Brett Shipp investigated. So, Brett, not long after he started actually poking around on this, one of the biggest sellers of these things actually stopped selling them. Is that right?
That's right, John. It's called Fire Slide, and they've put up a message on their webpage tonight saying basically they're halting any new orders and better to serve their customers. So we'll find out how much heat they're actually feeling. But today the country seems fascinated by the device called the bump stock or slide fire. The feds say it's what Paddock used to mimic a machine gun and kill so many. It's a totally legal, available here in North Texas, and now suddenly igniting a nationwide conversation.
Become every man's birthright.
The video and tutorial comes from one of the large manufacturers of the bump stock product called Slide Fire. The diagram shows how the sliding recoil action pulls the trigger for you, effectively converting your semi into a fully automatic weapon. And it's all perfectly legal. Even the packaging boasts the approval of the ATF. How easy is it to get? I found one at this Cabela's sporting goods store in Fort Worth for $300. They can be found online for around $100. I was in and out with my own slide fire in about 12 minutes. Shooting instructor Travis Bond agreed to install and test it out.
We're just going to time you and it's going.
Okay. The challenge is keeping that spring in there. Son of a gun.
But despite Bond's significant experience and knowledge of weapons,
the instructions are not totally accurate. I'm trying to maneuver 3 different things at once. There's got to be something that locks this to the gun.
Trying to decipher the instructions and navigate the pieces proved challenging.
You think you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
It may not work, but I got it.
43 minutes. We've had some difficulties.
So we finally get out to the range to test the firing speed of the newly converted AR-15. Bond had never fired a bump stock before, and even before we got started, he shared his thoughts.
Travis, at what point does a bump stock or a slide stock or a slide fire become just a toy with one of these weapons?
I think it basically is a toy. I mean, it's like a lot of the other things, like tannerite and some of those kind of things. If used properly, they're safe.
But safety is immediately compromised if the device does not work.
I've seen people shoot them on video, but
and after several attempts,
there's apparently something not doing what it's supposed to.
The trigger alone worked and the weapon fired.
You try one other thing, because that's not doing anything. That's just me.
But our $300 product appeared to be malfunctioning, so Bond pulled out his own semi-automatic AR-15 to prove a point.
It's not quite as fast, but it's... Well, what more do you need than that?
Bond's final analysis: with or without the bump stock or slide fire, a gun in the wrong hands can spell tragedy.
Statistically, would there have been a difference? I don't know, and I don't have any way of knowing. But I can tell you the damage would have been significant either way.
Izzy and John, you know, it's really sickening to think or hear anybody talk about this as being a toy, but you can see from Travis Bond, it really doesn't make a lot of difference. It makes some difference, but it doesn't make a lot of difference whether you're using it or not using it. It is so deadly in the wrong hands.
You know, it seems to me amazing that now, ordinarily when this happens, we don't hear a lot. We hear a lot of talk about concern about changing this or changing that. This time around, I am hearing some conservative lawmakers who are asking some hard questions.
Right. The breaking news alert from New York Times just moments ago. Top Republicans, long resistant to gun regulation, said they may be open to banning rapid-fire device used by the Las Vegas gun. We're talking about Senator John Cornyn. We're talking about Bill Flynn from Texas.
Texas as well. We're talking about Marco Rubio, Lindsey Graham. Some big names are now finally coming out. It looks like that very staunch, dug-in side on that side, the pro-gun side, is starting to blink a little bit over this issue.
There was talk about this after Sandy Hook in 2013. You have 20 children gunned down inside a classroom. You know, if that didn't shift gun laws, I don't know what will. Could this be it?
And the needle did not move much either in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub. But now 59 people, this horrific slaughter, I think people are now finally starting to talk.
Hope you're right.
One of the things that I heard Travis say, and this is one thing I've always found with weapons like this, people don't seem to realize that if you go automatic like that, you're just spraying, that you become much less accurate.
He's not going to like me saying this, but as I was watching his bullets go, they were all over the place. Even Travis, who's well trained, didn't really have a great command over his machine gun.
All right, Brett, thanks a lot. Appreciate that report tonight.